and our hearts be open to receive the truth wrapped in today's message. Let clarity rest upon the vessels who speak. Let confusion flee. Let the words formed today travel beyond the airwaves and into the secret places of your soul. For it is in the secret place where the Most High sees, and it is from that place he will reward you openly. Be still, be ready, be real. You are in the temple now, and the presence of the Most High is here.
Amen.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Temple of the Most High. I am your host, Kasubel.
And I am Sheba.
Yes, the lovely Sheba's here. And today, we welcome you. We really do welcome you. How are you today, Sheba?
I'm doing wonderful. I am getting ready for my turn to give a thought or a message today, which is hopefully something that will resonate with everyone.
It's an interesting title. Can't wait to see it. It's pretty provocative in a sense.
Well, actually, it was much more provocative, but I figure I'd temper it down for everyone. I actually had a much more provocative title, and I maybe if you join the member group, I'll tell you what it really was supposed to be. But I didn't want to offend too much, so that's which is not really a reasonable thing to say, because a lot of times truth does offend, and sometimes things are better said with a little bit more force and shock.
That's true. That's true. I think sometimes when a speaker wants to have a message hit home, they will use certain provocative titles, phrases.
Just to get your attention.
Just to get your attention.
Yeah.
So that what you say and the other aspects of the point can be made.
It's an attention grabber.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yes.
So, well, you know what? Let's go in. I assume there's a Bible verse here. So let's see what that is. Actually, let's go to the title of this presentation today. And it is, Negativity is a Vampire. Don't let him in. Again, negativity is a vampire. Don't let him in. I mean, I think that could be the sermon right there.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, that's, like I said, it was a little bit more provocative than that. So it's really just a matter of, yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, the Bible verse here is coming from John 8, verse 12. As you know, I love the King James Version. And it says here, Then spake Jesus, or Yeshua, again unto them, saying, I am the light of the world. He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life. But shall have the light of life. Very interesting.
I love that. It just made me want to add some things to my message today.
Interesting.
The light of life.
Interesting.
Yes.
So now I will be presenting Sheba, and the title being Negativity is a Vampire. Don't let him in.
So negativity is a vampire. Don't let him in. I'm pretty sure that you guys can come up with some of what I might be thinking about. But before we do that, let's just talk about a movie I've seen recently. My husband and I went to go see this movie. It's called Sinners. And if you have not a weak stomach, you could feel free to go and watch that movie. But I'm just going to give you one part of the movie that really struck me and inspired this message. So I'm going to describe it for you. So on the screen, you can see this is cornbread. And cornbread is basically the bouncer at a juke joint that the twins, played by Michael B. Jordan, which I don't remember his name. I think it's like Slick or some kind of nickname that they both have. And do you remember their nicknames?
Actually, I don't at the time.
Okay. If you find it, please let me know.
Most definitely.
So the two of them decide to open a juke joint. And in the process of a night, a weird thing happened. But during the night, Cornbread, which you see on the screen, he goes off to use the bathroom. He leaves somebody else in charge, and then he returns from coming from the bathroom after his twin brother has already died, and he says to them, "All right, guys, let me in." And they're like, "Why are you asking permission to be let in? I don't understand." So basically, they start grilling him, and they start asking him, "You're a big guy. Why don't you just walk in? And he's like, oh, stop playing. And he starts coming up with all kinds of excuses. They ask him where he's been, what he's been doing. And he's like, oh, I just went to use the bathroom. But at the end of the day, he tricks them into the one of the characters to reach his hand out. And they find out soon thereafter what happened to him when he went to use the bathroom, which was basically he got bitten by one of the vampires.
Yeah, I believe they are smoking stack.
Yes, smoke and stack.
Mm-hmm.
And he got bitten by one of the vampires, and he turns into one of the vampires, and he attacks one of the guys, proving that he was a vampire. Now, I'll be honest, don't judge me. I'm fascinated with vampire movies. I'm fascinated by vampire movies. I've probably seen most of them. I read the Twilight books. I've watched True Blood. There's Blade, Dracula. And I've learned a couple things about vampires, their traits and stuff. And what I've learned is that vampires follow rules. They can't enter without invitation. They can't appear in mirrors. And they turn into ash in the sunlight, just to say the least. What makes a vampire the living dead? Let's understand what vampires really are. They appear alive, beautiful, powerful, seductive, but they're actually the walking dead. They have no reflection because they have no soul. They cast no shadow because they have no substance. Here's what vampires lack that living things have. No heartbeat, they're dead inside, no life-giving pulse, no reflection, they can't see themselves truthfully. No growth, they're stuck, never changing, never improving, probably really deteriorating, even though it doesn't appear so. No creation, they can only consume but never produce life. No love, they're incapable of genuine care or sacrifice. But here's what they do have, an insatiable hunger. They must feed off of the living to survive. They're beautiful on the outside, but they're rotten in the inside. This is exactly what negativity does to the human soul. Vampires just don't kill, they corrupt. Their bite doesn't bring death immediately. It spreads a virus that transforms the living into the undead. One bite and you become like them. Jesus described this perfectly in John 10:10. The thief comes only to steal, kill, and destroy. I have come that you may have life and have it abundantly. Here's how the vampire of negativity destroys life. It will steal your joy. It will drain the happiness right out of you. It'll kill your hope. It'll make you believe that nothing will ever get better. It destroys relationship, turns you against people who you love and who loves you. It spreads like a virus. One negative person can infect an entire family, workplace, or church. And it creates more vampires. Hurt people. Bitter people make others bitter. The most dangerous part is start small. Just one little bite of gossip, one taste of bitterness, one sip of self-pity. But it grows until it consumes everything that once lived alive in you. It's an invitation trap. How do these vampires gain their entry? Remember, vampires can't kick down your door. They must be invited in. And negativity works the same way. It knocks and waits for your permission. Who's knocking at your door asking for an invitation? Parents, who may bring generational patterns of negativity. Friends, who want you to join their pity parties and complaint sessions. Frenemies, who disguise their jealousy and competition as friendship. Co-workers who spread office gossip and workplace toxicity. Social media, constant comparison and outrage addiction. And television news 24/7, giving fear, anger, and decisiveness. Strangers who dump their bad day on your passing. Negativity whispers, don't you have the right to be angry, it suggests. Everyone else is talking about it. It offers just this once, just vent a little. And as before you know it, you've cracked open the door and said, come in. Ephesians 4:27 warns us, do not give the devil a foothold. That word, foothold, literally means a place to stand. You're giving negativity a spot to set up camp in your life. Internal vampires. So I've kind of classified it that there's two kinds of vampires: the internal vampires and the external vampires. And we're going to say that it's in 10 of them. The first 4 are the internal vampires, and the second 6, they're the external vampires. Some vampires don't come from outside. They're already lurking within us, waiting to be fed. Internal vampires are ones that attack from within. 1, self-doubt and criticism, whispering you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you're not worthy, you're basically not enough. Number 2, bitterness. It focuses on past hurts, replaying old wounds, refusing to forgive. I feel like bitterness is more like you can't move on from the past. You're constantly stuck and replaying bad things that have happened to you before. Guilty. Fear and anxiety and worry paralyzes you with the what if scenarios and the worst case thinking. Comparison to others, constantly measuring your life against others, always coming up short. Take a moment. Which internal vampire has the strongest grip in your soul right now? These internal vampires feed off of your peace, drain your confidence, and steal your ability to receive God's love and grace. The external vampires, people who drain your life. Then there are external vampires, the people who seem alive but are actually walking dead. They want to bite you too. External vampires are people who drain your life. They're literally draining your life blood. When you leave these people, you're exhausted. The narcissist, he lacks empathy, he doesn't care about your feelings, and he is emotionally unavailable. Basically, it's all about him. The victim, constantly complaining about their problems, always blaming someone else. The chatterbox, talks only about themselves, you're just their audience. The controller, everything must be their way, dismissing your opinions and manipulates you. 5, the drama queen. Everything is a big deal, a major problem, and even small things become a crisis. The judge, constantly judging others, finding fault, always has something negative to say about you or someone else, and leaves you feeling drained. Be honest. Do any of these vampires have a standing invitation in your life? Have you become one of them yourselves? Remember, vampires are not born, they're made. Nobody starts out this way. We catch it from someone else through their bite. Glamour, beautiful lies. This was always something that was very interesting to me, that a vampire, I just watched a scene in preparation for this message, and it was from True Blood, and he literally was asking him like where his sister was, and he was like, I'm not telling you, and he turned his face and he said, look into my eyes, and he was like, she's over there, right? So in vampire stories, there's something called glamoring. Vampires put people in a trance, making destructive choices seem attractive. Sin and negativity work the same way. They're seductive. Just tell them what you really think. This drama is actually kind of fun. You deserve to feel sorry for yourself. Everyone else is doing it. But James 1:14 and 15 reveals the deadly process. Each person is tempted when dragged away to their own desires and enticed. Then desire conceives and gives birth to sin, and sin, when fully grown, gives birth to death. It always starts with glamour, something that looks good, feels justified, seems harmless, but it always ends in spiritual death. Now, let's talk about some solutions. Of course, if you're going to have a vampire, we have to have weapons to kill or destroy those vampires. Okay? So here's the life-changing news. Vampires have fatal weakness, and so does negativity. Light. We all know, what do the vampires fear? When the sun comes up, they're running to hide. Vampires can't stand light because it exposes what they really are and destroys them instantly. Jesus said in John 8:12, I am the light of the world. When you shine the light of God's truth on negativity, it dies immediately. Shine truth on self-doubt. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Psalms 139:14. Shine truth on bitterness. Be kind and compassionate, forgiving one another. Ephesians 4:32. Shine truth on fear. Perfect love drives out fear. 1 John 4:18. Shine truth on comparison. We are God's handiwork. Ephesians 2:10. The moment God's truth hit these lies, they shrivel up and die like vampires in sunlight. The cross drives vampires back because it represents choosing sacrifice over selfishness, life over death, forgiveness over revenge. Holy water is the Spirit of God. When the Spirit fills you completely, there's no room for a vampire. John 7:3-8 says, whoever believes in me, rivers of living water will flow within them. Separation, garlic. Sometimes you need distance from toxic people. Psalms 1:1 says, blessed are those who do not walk or step with the wicked. The word of God, that's like a wooden stake. Hebrews 4:12 says that it is sharper than any double-edged sword. It pierces straight through every lie to the heart of the truth. Prayer and worship. These create an atmosphere where vampires cannot survive. You are the gatekeeper of your soul. Negativity will never stop knocking. Like a vampire, it's persistent. It will disguise itself, try to seduce you, ask for permission in subtle ways through parents, friends, social media, and your own thoughts. But you have been given authority. You don't just shut the door. You have the power to shine the light that kills vampires instantly. Raise the cross against evil. Let the Spirit fill every space. Speak God's word that pierces through lies. Choose life over death every single time. Romans 6:23 says, give us a choice. It gives us a choice. The wages of sin is death, but the gift of God is eternal life. Every time negativity knocks, whether through your own thoughts, toxic people, or negative media, you get to choose death or life, vampires or life, poison or healing. The knock will come again tomorrow. It might not be through a phone call full of gossip. It might be through a social media drama. It might whisper through your own doubts and fears. A parent might call with negativity. A friend might invite you into their complaint session. But now you know. You don't have to answer. You don't have to invite it in. What's one way you can choose to close the door on negativity this week? What's one small change that you can make to stop from being the doorman from destruction? You have the power to keep the vampire outside where it belongs. You have weapons that kill it instantly. Choose life, choose light, choose to be free. The invitation is yours to give or to withhold. Which will you choose? Remember, the moment you shine God's light on any vampire of negativity, it dies instantly, just like vampires in the sun.
Thank you very much, Sheba, for that very thought-provoking message that you gave. You know, when you were saying about the vampires and the Bible verses, I was instantly thinking, because, you know, a lot of these stories are in narrative form, right? And, you know, there is evidence that Yeshua did actually exist. And what if he was going, like, against literal vampires?
I mean, I don't know. That just came to my mind when you said that, when he was getting tempted for the 40 days and 40 nights. I don't know how Lucifer appeared to him, but he probably looked like a vampire.
You know,
and
more conceptually, like the idea that negativity is a form of vampirism, right? Taking away your energy, right?
Your life force.
In the movies and the cinemas, they always have like a physical being going and sucking the blood, doing the murder and all this stuff. But in a thought form, right? Here you have a negative thing taking away what could have been a good day.
Yeah. You know, I always think of like when the vampire like bites you, it's almost like a form of a virus or a poison. So they're like putting their fangs into you.
Yeah.
And they're literally injecting like a serpent, like a, what do you call it? Cobra? It literally is injecting a poison into you that invades you.
Right, because the thing with negativity is that it has a pattern of like repeating and recycling itself.
And becoming bigger.
And becoming bigger,
and
right?
Spreading. Yeah.
Only because you or it, or really you, are, as you said, invited this negativity within your head.
Yeah.
Or within your consciousness.
Yeah.
And like you're watching the television, watching the social media, watching this thing, and it's just
making
like
yourself feel bad. You know, it's interesting. I just thought about this. I feel like I recently had a external vampire in my workspace, and I liked her a lot, but all she did was complain all day.
Wow.
All she did was complain all day, and it was like, even if I had the chance to see the good of what was happening around me, it was like it was polluting it.
Wow.
All she did was talk about what people were supposed to be doing that weren't doing what they're supposed to be doing, and this person that, and this person this gossip from this, and how what this person does behind, and what this person used to do for a living. And it was like constant. And even if I had a chance to say, this place is not so bad, it's like all she did was remind me of all the bad things about the place.
It's interesting too when you say that, because obviously everybody listening has their notion of a good day, a good month, or a good situation, right? But this notion that you've had, even of course if it's powered by the Most High, of course it's going to be even more better. But you still have to kind of go through the hurdles of negativity. Yeah. That if you don't really address it, this aspect or this person or this communication will kind of rob you or steer you away from the path of what could be a good day, a good month, and a good year. Especially if
they start that in the morning. When you just get there, and you might have sat in the car, and I often pray before I go to work, and I'll say, oh my goodness, I need, I'm praying for money, I'm praying for the right people to come in, and for me to do a good job at what I'm doing, and here it comes the bite.
Right.
The fang to get you. Or if you're what if you're flipping through your phone in the morning, and then you see this bad news at the beginning of the day?
Well, it's very interesting. This is a very interesting concept because, if you're on this daily walk, right, and you are dealing with these principalities and powers, right,
unseen,
that are literally, I'm just going to keep it simple, trying to detract you from your good day, right? And as you said, you mentioned in your sermon that you're putting these Bible verses, like that's your silver. Your silver steak.
Your garlic. Yes, your steak.
Yeah, right?
And your holy water.
Your holy water, right? And those concepts, it's very interesting because in a real world environment, if you are that positive, or if you are that silvery or garlicky,
people want to stay away from you.
People want to stay.
They don't like that. They don't like that. They would rather be in a group of complain. But they would rather be in their coven. I forgot what a group of vampires called.
I don't know.
I think it's a coven or something.
I don't know.
So they would rather be in that state. You know what else you said that really got me? Because you made me think of what I used to love in cartoons, because we're older than we look, yeah? And I remember they used to have these cartoons when a person would have a decision, they'd literally put an angel on one shoulder and a little devil. Yes. And then they would be like talking to the person like, you should do this. No, you should do this. And then depending on which one would win, one would disappear like, okay, the angel won, or the devil won. And it's literally that all the time.
Well, that is the wrestling with your higher and lower self. Right. But that's already internal. You know what I mean? Like, all right, I'm going to go and do this. I got to do this project. This has to really work out. I got to work with all these individuals, just that and the third. Right. Yeah. I really need this concept to go. Right. That's the internal battle. Yeah. Right. And of course,
that's already enough.
That's already enough.
Yeah.
Dealing with your higher and lower self. Yeah. Right.
Much less an external vampire. And I mean, I did premise the whole thing like you have to give them permission to come in, but I must say, and I don't know, I didn't think about this before, I don't think it's so much that it's permission, is that you left the door wide open. I don't even think he knocked. Well, I think that the door was already open and you said, come on.
As an interjection, right, you did characterize the glamour aspect of it.
Yes.
Right. Now, it could come in many forms, right? Yeah. That is alluring, like, ooh, look at this creature in front of me, or did you hear what happened over there, right? There really is something enticing about negativity.
It's kind of like what we said at the beginning. It's clickbaity. Negativity is going to clickbait you, man. It's going to be like, look at this. It's a promise. Because you know what the definition of clickbait is, basically? It's that you think you're going to get something, but it's not really.
It's not that.
So you're like, if clickbait wouldn't be clickbait if you got what you thought the thing was going to be about. But when you click it and then it's like, that's what you got me here for? I just watched a whole minute of this. You know what I mean? So it's like that negativity is going to be clickbaity. It's not going to be boring. It's going to be delicious.
It's going to be delicious. It's going to seem delicious.
Okay, because that's what I love about the vampire. The vampire is dead. The vampire is dead.
I mean, because they in the conceptualized across television, movies, and cinema and books, like the vampire's not really giving you anything.
No, it's trying to trick
It's
you.
trying to
into
take
something.
from you
And mostly your blood, which is the only way they stay alive.
because they have none.
Because they have no blood. So they need to drink your blood to stay alive.
You know, I literally learned this week that the blood in the body is like 90 degrees. Like it's always hot, right?
Wow.
So it's giving you literally have like this.
And what is a vampire? It's cold. A vampire is cold. It is literally like, and then, you know what I just imagined? I was thinking about that same example of like the coworker who's like just bringing you negativity every day. What if you weren't there? Would they be talking to the wall like that? Who would they? They need you. They need you to listen.
But
they need you to listen. If you're not listening, who the hell are they talking to?
And you know what's interesting? It's so true. It's a very interesting concept. It's a great concept, actually. This vampire is going to whisper first. Is going to shuck and jive and glamour, do all the whatever things to literally get into your mental.
Yeah.
So you can open the door.
Yeah.
Like a magician or something.
Okay, if the vampire came to your door, like, okay, a lot of movies, I mean, I must have seen a lot of vampire movies because now I'm remembering all the scenes. Sometimes they don't show their fangs. They're like retractable. So some, they go like this, and then right when they're about to bite you, they go, and then the two teeth come out right there. So they're not necessarily showing you. And then they have also the cover of darkness. So it's not like they're in a brightly lit place that you could see them really well. You know, they have disguises.
I'm just going back to a tape of a lot of situations, right? Not a lot of negative situations. And we're put in the form of a vampire. I said, man.
If you would have seen it with the fangs, with all the ugly features.
If I would have known you were going to be a vampire or this situation was going to be vampiric, parasitic, off of me, and I don't want to be a vampire because I want to be more positive.
Yeah.
I don't want to be negative.
Yeah. Because it's killing you. You know what? I also have immortality. I feel like that concept is because that negativity is so difficult to kill. Like it can live. Like it's strong.
It's very interesting because Yeshua, when he was tempted, told Satan, not get away, but get thee behind me, right? And it's then more from the metaphysical aspect of on earth, there is negative and positive. There is dark and light.
Yes.
There are people who are vampiric and people who are not.
Yes.
It's just the way it is here on earth.
Yes.
Right? Now, you don't have to participate in it.
Yeah.
But you do have to not open the door, say no, or choose, right? You know, you mentioned the thing about the news in certain instances. I remember there was a time I was into the news earlier on, probably like 2013. And I was like, this is very negative.
But, and I think we've had this conversation before, the way that you do that is you say, I need to be informed. It's not like you're coming in like, I want to chug at the 5 o'clock and 11 o'clock hour
and
as
they
much
put the music
bad
on.
things. Yeah, and they make it seem like it's really important for you to know this. So it's not like you came in there saying, I want to get this negativity. You came in thinking, I want to be informed. I want to know what's going on in the world. I want to be a learned person. And then it gets you.
Then it got you.
And it gets you.
So it's interesting because when you make a covenant with the Most High has a lot of promises for you that are not vampiric. They're the opposite. They're life-giving, life-saving, life-generating, right? You know, you really have to kind of keep yourself literally within the Most High and what good the Most High has for you through the Word, through whatever text, spiritual text you utilize, the Quran, or etc. Because there are a plethora of negative vices, negative texts to
immortally.
There's enough for a lifetime.
There's enough to hit you in every corner. Just like you can conquer 5 of them over here, believe me, there's many other forms of weapons and negativity that can be thrown your way internally, externally, and on a cycle.
Well,
and every day.
I always think of the Blade movie, That's kind of like my favorite vampire movie series. And
he's a daywalker, though.
He's a daywalker. And I guess he's able to be positive or be negative.
Yeah.
But mostly positive.
Mm-hmm.
Positive to destroy vampires.
But exactly. And what does he do, even though he's half vampire? What does he do the whole time? He's trying to kill vampires. That's all he's trying to do. He's not trying to make more vampires.
Man, that's interesting. So you have to be a blade to your negative thoughts.
What did they call him? A
daywalker.
No, there's another dampier or something like that.
Oh, I don't have to get back to my blade lore.
Yeah.
But yes, you do have to be, and you know, I do love this on Earth, right? There's always a solution to a problem.
I was thinking that literally I was just writing you like, there's never like so much of a trap that there's not some trick, some way to get out of it.
There's always a little.
It's like a rule.
A little holy water.
It's something like they can't make an indestructible creature. They have to make something that has some sort of fail-safe.
Yeah.
To say you can stab him with a this, you could hit him with a that, you could throw silver, you could hold.
That's why
water.
I have a silver coin on me, literally, right?
Just happen to have a silver coin on you.
Because
yeah, that's what it is. So.
Very interesting.
Watch out for those vampires. Don't open the door for them. Don't let them
Don't let them in.
Don't let them glamour you.
Don't let the negativity glamour you. I don't care what form it comes in.
Yeah.
It still wants to come in,
it
right?
Still wants to come in.
And take your version of silver, right? Dawn it upon you, right? In the word, right? And especially in your mind.
Yes.
Keep the garlic in the mind. I'm sure like garlic has some kind of like pungent smell.
Yeah.
You should be pungent to negative people.
It's a deterrent.
Like, oh, I don't like him.
Oh, just really quick, I know we're wrapping this up, but
yes.
One of them is that chatterbox. I was like, man, that's a thing too. Like, it's one thing that somebody's just like, the chatterbox is like, that's draining too. Like, when you come away from people and you, like, even if you can't categorize them, narcissist, chatterbox, whatever, if you come away from somebody, you feel like, oh.
That's a vampire.
That's a vampire. That's pretty easy to know.
And you know what? Before you close, this is an interesting point. Sometimes you've been in a negative situation so long, you forgot what positive was.
Wow.
Right?
Then you've been bitten.
Right? You've probably been a zombie for like a couple hundred years in this
undead,
negative
baby.
State.
You're undead.
And you just take your silver, take your word, take your garlic.
And douse yourself with it.
Make yourself pungent to negativity.
Yes, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Yes, very, very good, thought-provoking word. I really do appreciate that. All right. Okay, so thank you again, Sheba, for that message. It was really good, really thought-provoking. As you know, the way that we close and pray, I do advocate that you go into your secret place and give your petitions to the Most High. Don't let the negativity vampires hear your thing, okay? So that, as the Bible says, the Most High can reward in public, right? And the notion, again, I would say, is that when you're in your secret place, it's to the one who is omniscient, all-knowing, and all-powerful, right? And the answer is already there. You're just going to literally turn your head and it'll be there. So I'm just going to take this pause of about 30 seconds and allow for everybody to give their petitions, their thanks, and hopefully most likely we will hear what the Most High did for you in secret in the public. So I will pause for 30 seconds now. Omniscient One, Most High, you are the one who have heard all the petitions. You have already provided the answers, and we thank you for that. Again, I just want to thank everybody for sharing this moment with us. I just want to thank Sheba again for presenting, and to everybody else, Ashe,
Islam.
And Islam. Peace be upon you.